be built. Build it from that foundation.
Man, that's powerful right there. I mean, and one of the things we keep highlighting is that how we also let the way we feel and how our emotions motivate us, right, to do the things that we're doing. You took a platform when it comes to fitness, and I will honestly say it's probably the first time I heard somebody acknowledge that people come in that space broken. You know what I mean? People don't see that piece of it. So you definitely have a lens on it that I know a lot of people. I don't hear people look at it that way. So that is powerful and very purposeful. So I commend you on that.
I think like a lot of people are doing plastic surgery. They're adding on or they're taking stuff off. And I think about if you're not mentally right in the first place, no matter what you add on or no matter you get that tummy tuck, you still mentally and emotionally that broken person. You still looking in the mirror saying, I am not enough. I can't do this. Or you still looking down on yourself like, oh, my thighs are still big. And so what I'm seeing now is like K. Michelle has taken a stance where she's getting all these, her butt injection. I mean, she's getting it taken out. And I seen another one, Body by Jay. She had butt implants too. And she was like, had she been emotionally intelligent in the first place, you would have known that I am enough, So, and if you're not enough, and your mind is not right in the first place, adding on or taking away, you still going to be depleted. You still not going to be that fulfilled person.
Yeah. And that I think that has a lot to do with what we are told, what people say, like so many, like, oh, she's thick. Oh, she's not thick. Oh, she's got a flat. Oh, she's got a flat. It's like, and it's not about that at all. Like, and it's just like, but society has made it to where people feel like they have to have these things to be a good person. And it's not what it's about. It's not about physical, attributes. Health, of course, is important, but like your physical attributes. Like we are who we are. Like, and that's just, and we all we're built with how we are built. Some people are built different than others, but at the end of the day, you have to be good with yourself. And you're not going to find that through nobody else. No human being, no man here on earth. You're not going to find that through them.
Yeah, and that definitely, when we talk about emotional intelligence, the number one skill set with emotional intelligence is self-awareness, right? And a lot of people are afraid of that conversation about self-awareness, about really looking at yourself. There's something I teach in one of my retreats. I say that, every day we get up and we look in the mirror, but we never really make eye contact, right? So we wash our face, we brush our teeth, or take care of our makeup and things of that nature. But most of us never slow down and be like, who am I? How am I about to show up right out here? And so to avoid that, right, we do the superficial things you guys were just talking about. We put on extra layers, or we spend a lot of time on social media trying to get in other people's business. We do everything we can to deflect from having to look at ourselves, which kind of leads me into our skill set of the day. So here on the I Never Worry podcast, where we discuss emotional intelligence with everyday people about everyday situations, we like to offer a skill set that we use, or a strategy. And today's skill set is don't take anything personally, even when it feels personal. Now, most people probably don't view that as a skill set, but to make it, think about the last time you took something personal, right? And tell us about that experience, or you knew somebody who took something personal.
That is actually an ongoing challenge for me, is taking things personal. I would say I probably take the most things personal at work. Like I said, I work in a psych facility. It's pressure cooker at any given time. And over the course of 7 years, I've received 2 promotions. And my last promotion, I feel like people on our leadership team are constantly digging at me. Either it's a subliminal digs or it's the outright digs, where I often feel ostracized at work. I'm very thankful that I'm in an office by myself. I'm extra thankful that I have an uncle that works there with me, and he sees when I'm emotionally dysregulated, and he's constantly telling me, you can't take things personal. And I hate to really think that people are that jealous-hearted in a work environment that's supposedly therapeutic, that have that much hate in their heart towards somebody who they barely know based on, oh, she wrote a book, she thinks she's better than everybody. But I'm just like, you have no idea what type of demons I'm fighting on an ongoing basis, how I really view myself, how I lack strong eye contact, how I was once extroverted, now I'm introverted because I feel like there's a microscope on me at any given time. So I'm always trying to remind myself, don't take things personal. Be really mindful and practice just taking a step back. Don't answer to an email right now because you know you're in a space that you're taking things personal. You don't know the tone or if it actually was that, and you don't want to threaten yourself and put yourself in a position to be in the unemployment line. So it's just an ongoing battle. And some of it is just, honestly, it's insecurities overcompensating for many years when I didn't do things right. And now that I know that I'm a rock star in this position, I'm trying to stay humble, but really be like, look at me. I'm a leader. I can do this. I can do that. So it's always every day. I write little Post-its to myself, and I think the most recent one I wrote was, I am enough, I am fulfilled, I will find fulfillment even if I don't feel it in this moment. So I'm always trying to take a look at myself. I'm working on my eye contact, and I'm working on things that would really make me this even-keeled person that is able to have a debate or a disagreement and not feel like I was personally attacked.
Let me man, that was, she said so sweet. Wow.
Powerful.
But let me tell you the way I view things, like why I already feel that you are that even-keeled person. And that is because you're able to articulate and speak on what you consider or others may consider weaknesses, but that's just a matter of opinion. Like, first of all, but the fact that you're able to speak on things that you're working on, speak on things that you feel like you can get better at, lets me know that you're already in that space that you need to be in. And I mean that, like, that's real, because most people can't do that. And it's like, you may never get to where you think or others think that you need to be because you're already there.
Right. Yeah, for sure. That's
I definitely needed to hear that. It's really hard to look at yourself and to have other people also look at you and think things or talk things about you that you're not even aware of, but you're interacting with these people every day. And then when you do find out, some time down the line, it brings on about insecurity, because I look at them like maybe they're super fulfilled because they have the car that I want, or they have the money I want, or they get acknowledged in these public platforms in the work environment. And here I am. I didn't overcame drugs. I didn't overcame domestic violence. I didn't overcame so many things that people are unable to walk away from. How come they can't view me the same way as they view her? And I know that I'm working twice as hard, but at the same time, I also know that cars and making more money does not make a person fulfilled. And sometimes I do think maybe they're looking at me and they're saying, oh, she is strong, so let me take these digs at her because I don't want her to be. So again, it's always about how much do you take personal? How much are you accountable for your own actions? And really realizing that you cannot control how another person feels about you.
Yeah, most definitely. And we have this model that we use in our platform, and it's about staying away from low frequency conversations and situations, right? And when we mean low frequency, we mean that just negative vibe that no matter what you say or do, it's just not going to change. And sometimes we get sucked in, right, to that. I mean, there's a quote that says, never argue with a fool, right? Because they're just going to drag you down to their experience and just beat the hell out of you, right? Because that's where they dwell. And, I've learned to recognize things that I consider to be low frequency. And when I recognize it, I'm out, right? I'm not even about to have no explanations with it. And so when you talk about job things, right, I mean, I was just at a place for 15 years, right? Spent 20 years of my life, right? After I got my break, being a felon, right? 4-time felon, being able to overcome that, become a peace officer, work in juvenile hall, right? Give back to the youth. I worked in a program called Crossroads Mentoring Program where I worked with adults. I was getting cats out of jail. I was, I had me and a judge, Superior Court Judge, Larry Goodman. People know the story. Man, me and this gentleman, first he gave me a pass, right? Then I took full advantage of that opportunity. then he started allowing me to give other people passes. So what I mean by that, and I'm going somewhere with the story, like somebody could be in the tank, right, facing a violation, right, and Goodman would say, DB, go talk to him and let me know where they stand. And whatever you tell me, it will determine whether they go home or not. This is an ex-felon that he had already sentenced 3, 4, 5 times because of my witness, right? Would send me back to the well. I'll be out of custody. I go back there, talk to you, see what's happening, and I gotta use some discernment, right, on just not some hookup. But if you got anything about you that you're gonna try to build from here, I'm gonna get you this pass. So I'm dedicating my life to, not only getting mine together, but helping folks to work in a place that underappreciated me the whole time. So back to what you're saying, everything I'm doing, somebody trying to undercut it. Somebody trying to minimize it. Somebody trying to slam. I'm running into cats in the streets and they like, man, they say you up there, doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, and I'm hearing who's saying, and I'm like, wow, because this person's in my face every single day, in my office every single day, trying to take advantage of the opportunities that I'm creating. But at the same time, and I don't know what that is, but I'll tell you about the EI piece of it. What I have learned, which I know pisses people off about me the most, because I can know that you've been talking about me and still got love for you, and I never mentioned it to you. Now, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. And you want to go there, we can go there, right? But I can live around you, through you, above you, and not even acknowledge it. Now, it took some time to get there, right? Because we used to knock people down for way less, right? So there's times when you draw from that space like, you know what? You know what I mean? I feel like that sometimes I be want to get 7 feet tall on some of this stuff I hear, right?
Man.
But the EI, right? Because here's the thing about emotional intelligence. It's not about trying to tell you how to feel, because that's ridiculous. It's what you do with those feelings. And the part that gets us in trouble is that one time you give yourself permission to act a fool. Right? So you put something, this is my kids, or this, you can say whatever you want, but when you sitting up in Santa Rita, you know what I mean? They reactivate that PFN number. Maybe for a minute you'll feel like you had to do what you had to do. But then as time goes on and you realize that this world keeps spinning out here and the person you went all out for ain't even there for you no more, then you get that hard lesson. And I used to have nightmares about walking the yard, right? Talking about how I had to do something, I swear. And then it's like a movie. I used to have this nightmare like a dude, like I'd be walking the yard telling the story. Because, you tell your story to people listening, they be like, yeah, right? Other dummies, right? And then I could see an old man crossing across like a lawn of grass and walking and listen to my story. And after I told all the reasons why I had to, he just looked at me and said, no, you didn't, son. And that's it. Just simple phrase. No, you didn't, son. Because everything comes down to a decision, right? We have a choice and the power of it. And our emotions sometimes make us think there is no decision.
Yeah, and if you don't stop and think about a decision you make before you make that decision, they will give you time to stop and think about that.
Right. That's so true.
Sam, tell us about taking things personal. Tell us your experience with that, personally, or watching people do it.
It's kind of like everything that you guys have said. Like I said, in the corporate world, I'm full of energy. I think I came from a shy place to the point where I'm confident now. I don't know it all, but I'm not going to talk on something I really don't know anything about. So being where I am one of the only people that look like me, that comes from this background, that comes from Oakland without a college education at this level, making the money that these ladies are making as well. And they come for me. They come. And a lot of times I get the emails and I'm like, why they picking on me? Why they sending me these emails? And so I would have to, like you said, detach from it. Don't respond, or I'll get quiet for a moment. Everybody knows that I'm not quiet. And so when you get the presidents of the company or the CEO of the company coming to your desk saying, girl, what's wrong? You quiet today. And it's like, because I'm dealing with the emotions from what I just encountered from around the corner. So let me, before I act a fool, let me go ahead and collect myself and be able to deal with this on a corporate level. Now, when I'm dealing with people on the street, I have to also use that same approach, because I see a lot of subliminals on Facebook. People say the same thing. You think you all that. No, it's not that I think I'm all that. I think you think think that I'm all that.